Okay, so let's get started. I'm going to use 2 popsicle sticks, some Sculpey clay, polymer clay, this roller. I have my stamp ready. It's a butterfly stamp. A little bit of talc powder, or you can use cornstarch. My cutting tool, and a needle tool. Okay, so I just put down a little bit of the powder first to keep the clay from sticking to the board. And I'm using my popsicle sticks for the thickness of the earrings. And I'm just pressing it down with my roller to get the thickness of the popsicle sticks. And as you can see, using the powder makes it come up really easy off the board. And you don't have to use this particular method. You can use a pasta machine, you know, if you were into polymer clay. I do have one, but it's kind of hard to attach it to this table, so. And it's pretty easy doing it this way too. Okay, so I'm just rolling it out to make sure that I have enough clay to accommodate at least 2 stamps. Okay, I add a little bit more powder. I don't want the stamp to stick when I press it down. And I'm just sizing up the butterfly with the clay so that I would have enough on the other side when it's time to press the second butterfly. Okay, so that's one. Come around on the other side and size it up on the clay. Press down. And there we are, we have 2. And I just take my cutting tool. And normally I'd use both hands to cut this out. I would use my left hand to secure the clay down while I cut, but because I'm doing the video, I want you guys to be able to see what I'm doing here. And I'm just using the line on the stamp to follow. I might go out from time to time, but I can clean it up later. So it's going to take a little while to do this, but like I said, if you use 2 hands, it's fairly, it's pretty quick to do it that way. You don't have to follow the lines on the stamp. You can actually come in closer, or you can go out wider if you want to. It's really up to you. You know, it's your project, and you decide on what's, you know, what you want to do. You can always change it. And if you mess up, you can always start over. And as you see, you know, by just using the one hand, I'm having a little problem with the cutting here, but I can fix that later. Okay, I'm almost done. Okay. And just lift this up. And as you know, you can see now the edges are kind of rough, but like I said, we can come back and fix that later. Be right back. Okay, so I'm back, and now I have 2. I've cut out the second earring and smoothed out the edges. That's 1. And you can see how much it looks, you know, like the stamp. So many different ways I can color this or paint it. You can add stones to it. Right now I'm just showing the tool that I use to smooth out the edges. This is polymer clay tool. I'm going to come back. Okay, here we have some earrings that I did before from a different stamp. Oops. I'm butterfinger fingers these days, so I don't know. But as you can see, that's the butterfly I used right there at the top. That's the first pair that I made. So boring to me now. But it was an experiment and it turned out decent. So there you go. And that's the look I'm kind of going for this time around too. Um, and that's the tool that I use, the needle tool for. I'm going to put the holes in the bottom and in the middle to hang my dangles from. And that's one hole in the middle. Just kind of hold the clay down while you make the holes. Okay, kind of messed the shape up and I just fixed it really fast. Alright, putting a hole there. Here. Because I want 3 dangles. So it'll be 3 holes at the bottom. And now you can see those holes that I just put in. Make sure you make them big enough to accommodate whatever findings you decide to use. And now I'll just put one between the antennas to connect the dangle from my ear. And that'll go right there. And make sure you leave, enough space between the very top so it doesn't split or break. Okay, so now what I'm doing, I decided to go with the mica or mica, however you decide to pronounce the word, powders. And they stick fairly well to clay, but I want a really deep color, so I'm going to use my transfer medium and just cover the clay. Because, like I said, I really wanted to have deep, dense color. And so you just go around and cover your piece with the, with the transfer. And I'll go along the outside edges too. And I'm going to do the right one and I'll be back. Okay, I'm back. And here I'm showing you that I've finished putting the transfer medium on there. And I decided to go ahead and make a third butterfly for a pendant. And so I'll put a hole here, here, and one at the bottom for the dangle. So that'll be my pendant. And then I'm just deciding on which colors. Go with my favorite pink, maybe some blue, purple. And you can find these online or you can go to Michael's. I like to get mine from Michael's. I use my 40 or 50% off coupon. And I think it's like $30 for the pack. So you really save a lot of money if you use the coupon. You can sign up online and get an app, or go get the app for your phone and get your coupons that way, or you can sign up and get them in the mail. I do both, so I get 2 coupons. Okay, so since I have yellow clay, I'm going to start out using my yellow powder. And what I'll do, I'll have a different brush for each color. And I could actually take some powder out and put it in a different little container, but it really won't mess up the powder doing it this way because it adheres to the brush. And sometimes you get a little bit more than what you need, but you can just wipe it on your surface or use it on the other piece if you're doing earrings. If you're doing more than one piece and using that same color, you can just dab it on the other piece to take some of the color off. And then I'm just speeding it up so you can see the process. And what I'm doing as I go, I'll do each color on each piece as I go. And getting the outsides, as you can see. Okay, so now I'll go with my blue. And where the blue and the yellow meet, it will give a green color, so that's why I'm using that color next. And do it kind of light where the two colors meet and make it deeper in the middle, and then light towards the end. Well, you know where you'll start your new color. So that's what I'm doing here. Okay. It might take a little time. I think it took me like 30 minutes to do all three pieces. And that's one of the reasons I sped this up, because I didn't want you guys to sit there whole 30 minutes and, wait and watch the whole thing so slow. So I'm going with purple next because blue blends into purple really easy. Okay. And like I said, I'm just concentrating on the center part of the color to be darker. The edges will be lighter because it blends into the next color. So now I'm going with pink. And I'll do it darker at the bottom and lighter at the top, so the light pink would blend into the purple, and darker as it goes down because there's no other color that I'll be using. So it being dark at the bottom will be fine, as opposed to the middle like I was doing the other pieces. Okay, just touching up some areas, and you might have to. Sometimes the powder kind of flies off and it might go in like there, on the yellow, and I just took my finger and dabbed it. But, everything is to your satisfaction, so you do the piece to please you. And I'm just using my needle tool to lift it up. And like I said, use some wax paper. I should have used some wax paper, but I didn't have any, and I just want to do it. So you can see what it looks like up close there. And I'm going to go ahead and finish the other two pieces, and I'll be back. Here we go, and I'm back. And I finished all three pieces. Okay, I've baked these pieces already in the oven, and I think it was 375 or 275, I think. 275 for 15 minutes. And I decided I wanted to do the back. I didn't want it to look boring on the back too. So what I'll do is just go ahead and add some more transfer medium to make the powder stick. And so that's what I'll do now. Just go ahead and put it on each individual piece. And do the same thing again. Do the color blending with the same colors that I used before in the same sequence. So it continues from the front to the back. And then I'll bake the pieces. So I baked them. And these are the bags. And these are ready. Okay, so I'm back and they're all done and ready to go. And this is my pendant. And as you see here, I put 2 loops at the top to accommodate my necklace. And I used a blue bead as my dangle. And that's the back, and they're all glazed and ready to go. So that's the pendant. And here's one of the earrings. And as you can see, I used the same blue bead in the middle as the middle dangle. And I used some pink beads that I actually ended up having to paint. I didn't have any dark enough, so what I did was I took some wooden beads that I had and used some acrylic paint, some pink, and I actually added a little bit of the powder, the mica powder, to the acrylic paint, and I painted those beads. And this is the second one. And as you can see, they're all glazed and ready to go. Alright, that's my tutorial, and I hope you guys enjoyed it.